How to move a maintained part in or out of service. During either planned or unplanned maintenance, a maintained part on a unit may be taken out of service for repair or reconditioning, and a spare unit will be put back in service in its place. It is important to keep track of the parts that are installed and the parts that have been removed from service but are still spares for that unit. For example, the class societies require a survey of the main engine units. However, the survey may or may not be for the specific part. Example, piston, but for the piston currently in service on that unit. Therefore, it is important to know which parts are in service. In NSE, the maintained part can have its own work orders and therefore work order history. The part will still be associated with the unit regardless of whether it is in or out of service. So the history will also be available under the unit history. How to move a maintained part out of service. If you want to move a maintained part out of service, make sure to complete all outstanding standard jobs or work orders of the maintained part. If the job is not yet scheduled, leave the job and proceed to putting the maintained part into inactive process. It is important to create a work order for the standard job before moving the part out of service so that the running hours will reset correctly on the completion of the work order. To view the maintained parts, click the Equipment Explorer in the Navigator pane. The Equipment Explorer window will open in the Purchasing view. To change the view, click View and click Maintenance view. In the hierarchy, drill down to find the maintained part that you're going to put out of service. For example, you are going to put the main engine fuel oil injector on unit number 2 forward out of service. Highlight the maintained part and click the Open Left pane item. The maintained part window will open. On the lower part of the maintained part window, you will see the associated jobs of this unit. Open each job to check if there is any open work orders. The standard job window will open. Click the Work Orders tab and check for any work orders. If there is no open work orders, you may also proceed to putting the maintained part into inactive. But since there is an outstanding work order, we will have to proceed to completion of the work order. Double-click the work order to open. In the findings, enter any relevant information that will help the tracking of the movement of this unit. For example, main engine fuel oil injector with the serial number 123 has been taken out of service from main engine fuel oil injector number 2 forward. Check for the materials required if all are in order. Attach file attachments as required. Click Completion Date to complete the job. For example, July 7, 2017. Click Yes to proceed. Now the work order has been completed. Proceed to closing the work order by clicking Process and click Close. And click Yes. The work order is now closed. Close the work order to return to the standard job window. As you can see, the job counter has been reset to 0. Close the standard job window to go back to the maintained part window. For the standard job that is not yet scheduled, just leave the job. For example, the 16,000 hours job is not yet scheduled. You may now proceed to putting the maintained part into inactive. We will now rename the maintained part into main engine fuel oil injector spare number 123. Always check if the serial number is correct. Change the status to inactive. Before changing the maintained part code, highlight the code to copy. Right-click and click Copy. After copying the maintained part code, change the code. Just leave the 5-digit standard code of main engine fuel injector and add the serial number at the end. Click Save to save the changes. Once the maintained part has been put to inactive, all standard jobs will also be inactive and will not accumulate running hours every update. How to move a maintained part into service. On the same window, locate the maintained part that you're going to put into service. For example, you are going to put the main engine fuel oil injector spare number 17 to active. Highlight the maintained part and open left pane item. We will now rename the maintained part into main engine fuel oil injector on unit number 2 forward. Check if the serial number is also correct. Change the status to active. We will now change the maintained part code by highlighting the code and right-click and paste the code that we have copied from the main engine fuel oil injector on unit number 2 forward, active unit. Click Save to save the changes. Once the maintained part has been put to active status, all its standard jobs will also become active and will start to accumulate running counters from the time the unit was put into service. On the right side of the pane, you will see the associated standard job of the maintained part that you have just put into service. Check that the last and date is correct. If the last and date is incorrect, notify the PMS support group to update the correct last and date. Frequently asked questions. What if specific spare unit is not existing on the hierarchy? Please send a change request to PMS support group stating to add the maintained part in the hierarchy. Supply the serial number of this spare unit.